Alright, what's up everybody? This is Rob. On my left, I got Merc. On my right, I got T-Russ. Alright, now, for this playthrough, we're going to be providing some additional commentary. We're basically going to be talking about the previous year 2016 for video games, as well as multiple other scenarios that involve mass media, as well as what we can expect this year in 2017 and possibly up and coming in 2018. The subjects will be at random. The topics will be completely ludicrous, but it's all for the good of the show. Now, Merc, why don't you start us off?
First off, since we have it in the background, why don't we talk about Titanfall 2? Honestly, the developers behind that know how to listen to their fans, know how to please their fans. They heard everything that people didn't like about the first games, and then through the alpha test, and then through the beta testing, and improved every single time. The DLC is free, there's now a story mode. Honestly, there's a lot of game companies out there and developers that should take a note from this company. Russ?
Yeah, I want to add on to the Titanfall 2 concept. I played the first game, and as much as I enjoyed it, I found that the first game was too based on multiplayer. And it feels like it's just like with this one, I feel like they did a better job with it, putting in a storyline and then adding, I would say, new features to the multiplayer. I mean, it's like to the Titans, to the weapons you can have. New mechanics, new takedowns, the graphics, the new environment, the new environmental maps, everything about it is just, it's, I find this enjoyable. I find it to be an enjoyable game. I'm glad they decided to change it to the
Okay. Now, as someone that's never played the first Titanfall, I don't have that experience to be able to compare the differences and similarities between the two, but from what you guys say, I'm gonna have to agree beyond 100%. It sounds incredible. It sounds like something that could very well be like a great first game, and Titanfall 2, if I would have played the first one, is definitely a sequel that I would have played for the second. Let me just take care of something real quick. Oh yeah.
No Titans. Kill everyone.
Alright, now, I know the game series has come quite a long way, and this is going to be something that everybody in this room is familiar with, the Mortal Kombat franchise. Now, what do you guys think could have been done better in regards to some of the previous games? Ah, you... I had him. Now that fucker just decided to shoot me in the face. I didn't give a shit if I was gonna punch him. It's an insta-kill. It's supposed to be an insta-kill when the harpoon hits you.
That would be cheap. That would be cheap as hell. Broken. Anyways, you're saying Mortal Kombat?
Where do you guys think the Mortal Kombat franchise should have gone? And what could they have done better? What about you, Russ?
actually like graphics that
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, the X-ray moves as well as the fatalities and the brutalities and everything, they are a bitch to do, especially with the directional inputs. Some people can't DI for shit, and I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you not noticed that whenever you... I never do the directional input. If you're at the right distance, you can just hold down R2 and then push either triangle or square, and it lets you do it.
Fucking easy fatality bullshit.
Yeah, they made it for people like you.
Oh, fuck, that was close. Anyway, I've played Mortal Kombat straight from the get-go, the first game that ever came out. And I remember whenever they released the blood code for it, not saying that, you know, I was there when it was released, but it was still pretty damn fun. And the blood code just made it all that much more worth. Every single Mortal Kombat game after I've played, even the ones that had the ridiculous bullshit modes like puzzle combat, you know, racing combat where your characters had big heads, drove fucking small ass go-karts. It was the stupidest thing ever, but it was a gimmick that kept people coming back because it was so fucking hilarious. Like, literally, have you ever seen somebody's head explode while they're trying to cross the finish line? It's great. And I'm not saying that to be cheesy either. I literally felt nothing but pride when I finally beat Shao Kahn. But as far as Mortal Kombat 9, I love what they did with the storyline and how they kind of took it back to its origins. And as far as Mortal Kombat X and XL, yeah, the DLC characters are definitely a welcomed addition, just as with any game. But the storyline seemed a bit off. I can understand it picked up from where the previous one left out, but if you're already used to seeing Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, and all the other Mortal Kombat veterans kick ass and take names while they're doing it, then there's no point to go through it again. Fuck! But who knows? Maybe we'll get a new Mortal Kombat game coming out in 2017 or 2018 that goes back to its roots, that goes back to what Mortal Kombat was literally about. Instead of making it a story-based fighter, it'll be an arcade-based fighter. Now, it definitely holds up to its standpoint as one of the kings of the fighting genre. No, next to Street Fighter. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are, without a doubt, the kings of the fighting genre. I'm doing terrible.
It's fun to watch, but the storyline is mainly for you to get used to first person, for you to get used to the controls of each characters. That's why they make it no different characters without the story, so you can figure out which ones you like, so it gets you prepared to play with your friends or online. I think that's what the purpose was for I expected nothing from it.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I completely agree with him, and that's a very valid and very non-arguable opinion. You can't argue against that, literally. Shut up. Alright, a game series that threw itself down the drain and then spawned a fucking movie that dragged it even further. We're literally going to touch up on Tekken with this one. I loved the first few games, and the only good movie that's... They already made a movie. They made 2 movies, actually. One of them was CGI.
Some video game movies are fun to watch back. There's a good one. They all dropped out of this thing.
Okay, Assassin's Creed, we don't know how well that did. Supposedly it went pretty well. Supposedly. No one can say for sure. Now, as far as everything... True. Alright, now... In my opinion, the only good Tekken movie that paid homage to the video games was Tekken Blood Wars. The one where Jin finally killed Kazuya. Spoiler alert. Yeah, did I forget to mention that in the beginning of the video? Well, now they know. Oh god, no, we can't spoil Star Wars. Star Wars is actually Star Wars was a movie franchise that spawned great games. But back to Tekken. The live action Tekken film, I can't 100% agree with. I just can't. Like, they could have found better actors to portray all the roles. They made it seem like Jin was out for revenge to take down Kazuya for the murder of his mother, Kazuya, and Heihachi for his mom's murder. That just didn't fit. No. As far as... Alright, now as far as another game series, Devil May Cry, yes. I've actually played through and beaten 1 through 4. I beat the original in the course of a single night. Actually, more like just a handful of hours. The second one was the same thing. The third one was actually the first Devil May Cry game I played, and it's because it was treated mostly like an origin story. Dante's Awakening, hence the title. It was insanely difficult. I mean, insanely difficult. The developers even said that they had to tone down on the fucking difficulty just to make sure that players could stand a chance. And that's coming from the developers, nonetheless.
No Titans. Kill everyone.
Now, I understand that I think like Devil May Cry series, but I'm gonna go back to Tekken because I'm an asshole. Tekken, I like the game that's way too much to watch because I feel like if I watch Tekken, the best Tekken game ever made by Tekken 2.
No, wait, is this straight Tekken 2 or Tekken Tag Tournament 2?
Straight Tekken 2. I'm talking like the first PlayStation when it came out. It was like, the game was so fun. It's like I had a lot of fun times playing it, especially getting my credit passes at it. You know, the story mode. I like how the story mode is like as you progress, it gets a little more difficult up to the final boss when you holy shit, the devil is a fucking bitch to beat.
Oh, you mean Devil... That's not Jin, that's Devil or Angel Kazuya, and yes, he is a bitch to beat. I'm not gonna fucking lie, I sat there and watched my cousin go 15 rounds at him before he finally managed to do the cheap way out and use the strong pushback attack to win.
Oh my god, it's like, and the reason why that character is such a bitch to beat is because most of the time, was getting his rules. It's like, get down here, fight, damn man. Tekken 2 is actually very good. Tekken 3 is just That's all the other Tekken games go. I kind of skipped over some of them up to about maybe if they're gonna have a story, make it enjoyable. Like some games, it's like when it's just boss fight, make it an arcade, it's like the arcades, and that's why I think games
Okay.
Can we go back to Devil May Cry 3?
As far as
One was fudgy.
Hang on 1 second, hang on 1 second.
as far as Tekken goes,
They're beating us, but not by much. Take the lead.
games I have like when it was but it just never stuck with me. And to be honest, it's just that I don't really have a lot of investment in the franchise itself. But I know I really got nothing to add to it.
Now I'm gonna get back to that.
Alright, now.
Nice moves.
Well, my experience playing Devil May Cry 3, because I actually went 3, 1, 2 in chronological order, but I've noticed that the actual order is 3, 1, 4, and then 2. Ironically enough, and I know it's weird as fuck, but when I played 3, I had the original. I didn't get the special edition because special edition is for pansies. I played it and I beat it, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not tone down the difficulty. I started on Devil Hunter difficulty, like any true gamer would, and I'll admit I did have my fair share of trying to beat Virgil, because let's face it, I focused all of my stuff into my weapons rather than my health or anything. But ultimately, I won, and I did it without using any cheat codes, because there was a master code where if you held down the L1, L2, R1, R2 buttons and then rotated the analog sticks at the same time counterclockwise, you would hear at the home screen, it would sound off with Devil May Cry, and you would unlock all costumes, all game difficulties. You would unlock Bloody Palace, and that would also grant you Dante's Super Dante costume, which means Infinite Devil Trigger. And boy oh boy, whenever I unlocked that thing and I went into harder difficulties, I have to say, it saved my ass. I'm not lying. Now, and as far as the first one goes, I played the first one and I saw what they did with it, and I literally realized whenever they put Dante's costume from Devil May Cry 1 into 3, I blew myself up right there. Okay, I'm a dumbass for doing that. Just respawn. Yep. But anyway, the first Devil May Cry, it was just like any other. It was a singular-based storyline. The bosses were a hell of a lot easier. God damn it, a hell of a lot easier than the ones in 3 were. And naturally, I've played Devil May Cry 2 and Devil May Cry 4. Devil May Cry 2 has the stupidest firearm system ever, because all you would have to do to take down any boss in just a few minutes is get the SMGs, upgrade them, and then go Devil Trigger while you're using them. That's because number 3 didn't have submachine guns. Alright.
Okay, this is painful to watch.
No. No.
Controller, seriously.
Nope. God damn.
Mike Tyson. And Helen Keller has a handicap.
He doesn't have anything to add to it because he's never played it. Merc would only say he plays good games.
No, I just never played Devil May Cry.
Well, it's a very interesting game. You should pick it up. Nope. I've already told you, not getting the controller while I'm doing this. Alright. This one... I'm trying to think. What games can we touch up on? Fucking... Alright guys, at any rate, as far as additional games that can be touched up on, my first person shooter days actually started back on the N64 with a game called Turok 2 Seeds of Evil.
Pick it up, pilot. They're pulling ahead.
And that game, ironically enough, was very fun. The weapon system was definitely diverse enough because you weren't fighting humans, you were fighting things called dinosaurs.
I actually, as soon as you said that, I see nostalgia because I've been playing that game with my cousins. Especially when we go up against each other. That, it introduced like I actually not gonna lie, that was actually the first
And it was really interesting in the fact that you used the D-pad to move around. You had to use your right hand on the analog stick as well as the Z button to fire, and the A and B buttons let you switch your weapon selection. Someone on the other end just telling us to shut the fuck up. Well, like we really care. This is a podcast anyway. It's a podcast anyway. I don't care about their input. Okay. Now, guys getting pissed off that we're talking about games from our childhood and doing comparisons of 2016 to 2017, and it's whatever. Now, oh, cheapest fucking game ever, I swear. The only two things you needed to win in that game: proximity mines and the golden gun.
Yes.
He's the most broken character in game history.
I've heard that,
No. He's a character you can play as. Because he's shorter than where your crosshairs line up at. You actually have to apparently it's difficult to aim back then. So.
Ironically enough, if that dude's comments are in the stream, that's gonna be fucking amazing. Nah. But anyway, no. Proximity mines and the golden gun were all you needed to be the world's biggest asshole in GoldenEye.
now see, when me and my cousins were playing that game, we never could figure out how to do the proximity mines. Our main focus was to get the fucking gold gun.
Oh my god. Literally, the golden gun is basically a dick swing contest to say who can kill who first.
But it was so fucking fun.
It was, like, I'm not gonna lie, I died every single time unless I got a lucky shot off, but man oh man, it was fun. Now, I'm trying to think, let's see, come on brain, work with me, it's right there. Merc, you got anything to add?
Well,
Games?
good. Honestly, because you guys are going to like the old Nintendo era, I was never in that.
Okay, well, let's kick it into something that we're all familiar with. We're gonna go back to the glory days of Sony's greatest selling console ever. Literally, highest grossing system, and still holds the world record for most systems sold to this day. The PlayStation 2. Ooh, Burke is...
I'm just trying to think about where to start on that one.
Okay, where to start on that?
First off,
GTA.
how many hard to actually think that thing caused whenever you started about?
And...
That was,
enough...
like, if I ever tried to play that thing where anyone was asleep, I forgot a lot of the times that, how loud the opening was, so...
Okay.
It sounded like...
Okay, well, no, that's fine. But no, PS2...
unbelievably loud whenever you started the system in the middle of the night.
Oh my god, you are not. That's like before I even touched the system, I'll turn to you and go,
This is like everybody had to either mute the TV or turn the volume way the fuck down just to keep the initial sound from giving them audio.
opening scene was just like, watching the THX movie? What?
We're not even kidding. PS2 volume levels were nothing to fuck around with. They were very deceptive, and I swear the amount of heart attacks that everybody went through the moment they fired one up, it was totally worth it. Now, three of the greatest games I've ever played on the PS2 were from the GTA series. They were GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. I'm not gonna lie, I don't play Grand Theft Auto anymore, but those 3 games are quite literally my favorite out of the entire series.
Oi! Life is what you were born for! No time. Kill everyone.
It was like my animator herself just like the game such filled with joy. Here's the thing though, it's a fun game, but when you get further into the game, like into something like the boss fights, like the game brings it itself, you go from having a fun time to wanting to control a fucking TV.
Okay.
I enjoyed the game because sometimes those guys just
Fair point. Alright, Merc, what about you? Crash Team Racing? I'm not gonna lie, that was a really fun game. It just seemed like they tried a bit too hard to amp it up and make it worthwhile.
Games that stood out to me in the PS2 era. Really stuck with the system because they grew up through the PS3. And that's where the series started, and that's where it was at its strongest.
I'm not gonna, like, that's a very good point. I've never played Battlefront, but I heard amazing things about it. Yeah, true enough. Alright, now, as far as overall console performance, how would you rate the PS2 on a scale of 1 to 10? A 4? Okay, now did you have the original fat model PS2, or did you have the skinny P?
Tearing us apart. We haven't lost yet.
And people nowadays will never know what it was like to have to leave that thing on for days, possibly weeks on end, until you finally got that memory card. They have no idea. But still, you had a sense of accomplishment whenever you finally did get one. And if that didn't turn you into a gamer, I don't know what did. As far as Assassin's Creed, I've attempted at some of them, they're just not to my liking. Too much emphasis on the free running aspect, not enough emphasis on combat. Oh, we're going over how Merc rated the PS2 on a scale of 1 to 10. He gave it a 4. How would you rate it? So, fat PS2. Okay.
Give it a 7.5.
7.5?
Which is a comparing school.
It's pretty fair. Now, when I had the fat PS2, whenever I played it, literally no problems. So, with the original PS2, I would have to give that a solid 8.5 out of 10. Mainly because it's just my personal preference, but I've never had the displeasure of experiencing any problems with it. The Slim, on the other hand, seeing as it didn't have the internal cooling fan, that's what kind of threw it off, because that thing overheated like a son of a bitch, and it was my stepdad's nonetheless, so you can kind of imagine. Oh no, he kept it in an open space.
That's not good. But, I really enjoyed PS1. When PS2 came out, it's like, I want it now. And, you know, it's like, about the PS2, it's like, not only did you get to play some new games that came out, but you also had the backwards compatibility where you can play like the first PlayStation games. It's like, let's say it's like, I want to play the new one. I want to go back and play the series. Let's say Rayman.
Oh god, dude, Rayman goes back to PS1 days now. I will admit, I think they attempted a Rayman game at the PS2, but it probably didn't follow through.
Rayman, I honestly, the first one. That's my favorite. And then sometimes with certain games, you can't ever beat the first one, and Rayman was one because the first one is just and that's why. But the later ones kind of
Well, ironically enough, to the loyal viewers that are actually playing Titanfall 2 with us, they're actually fairly interested in this conversation that we're having, and they're very supportive of the channel.
be sure to tune in.
To the viewers that are playing Titanfall, we love you, we appreciate you. Thanks for the views, thanks for giving your commentary. Yeah, everybody except for the opposing team, fuck you guys.
Oh God.
Well, this guy on the other end of the mic is asking if I live with home with my parents, so I'm sure he lives in his mom's basement. Well, do I live at home with my parents? I certainly don't think so. Well, sometimes people need a dick thrown in their face. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. Merc. You're getting your teeth kicked in? Oh, cool. Now, as far, we're gonna break away from the PS2 and we're actually gonna go into Microsoft, so we're gonna touch up on the Xbox, which you're more familiar with this, and I think you are as well.
Was only my cousins, and they rarely had any games on. But I will say this though: one time, I think that's the first time I ever played Halo, and at first I was kind of like, not really used to it. But then when I picked up the 360 and started playing Halo, I was like, oh yes. Things came out, I started playing Halos. And it's like a lot of games from the Xbox, some games from the PS. So when the Xbox came out, I had to say I don't think that was as good as the 360 had a lot more games and a lot better graphics.
Alright, now, as far as the 360, I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the, aside from the PS2, that was one of the newer generation consoles that I owned, and it performed really well, because I enjoyed some of the games that came out for it. I never personally owned a Halo game, although I have played them, and the franchise itself did good for the most part. I'm not gonna hype it up or anything, but it's ultimately got things going for it that...
Halo was good practice because it didn't just start with games. It has First up, one of the best internet spin-off series ever of all time.
Oh, Red versus Blue, most definitely.
Yes. Oh,
Red vs. Blue is without a doubt one of the best. Definitely.
Now, as far as some other games are going, that the 360 is actually where I played Devil May Cry 4. So it kind of holds a special place in my heart as a continuation of a certain series. It's also where I got into some other games that I hadn't touched in quite a while, such as the Tony Hawk series, which started on Nintendo, and then branched out into...
yes, was the PlayStation 1 was the Tony Hawk's.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I remember
yes.
those games.
I'm not glad was way better than I ever was. I was just glad they unlocked Spider-Man. That's all I gave a shit about. he did all the instructions like, I got Spider-Man, I'm happy. But
Dude,
you do you.
those
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, you had Wolverine, you had Darth Maul.
Yeah, so for Spider-Man.
Yeah, everybody preferred Spider-Man.
The Tony Hawk skateboard game was like, every time I play that game, I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing backflips. I'm just keep doing flips. Every time I either land it or I wipe the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. Wipe me out with my favorite part. It was funny because I just want to see if I could kill my character. I couldn't, but
There's always the thought there.
I think my favorite part about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was the God level. Because if you messed up, God literally insulted you. You
Oh,
heard some omnipotent voice just going, "You suck."
this is ultimately that is Shao Kahn telling you not only do you suck at fighting him, you suck at fighting gravity.
No, I mean, you just called the God level or something like that, and like it's literally God insulting you.
It's great.
Oh,
Oh man.
Okay, now back to the 360. For me, okay, it came down to a choice. It's just like when the 360 and the new Wii came out, it came down to a choice for me because I was a kid. I was like a kid at the time in high school when these came out, so I had a choice. I either chose the Wii or the 360, and to this day, I'm glad that I chose because I shut up because when I picked up the controller, it was a new style. It was a new style, although I felt like sometimes the controllers were like the same.
Destroy the enemy's titans.
More games to it. It's just like, it's like I couldn't put the controller down. It's like as soon as I get home, I was going to get my 360. Although there was one thing about the 360 that I didn't have. That was the red ring of death.
Okay, before we get into what I would like to say is that Microsoft is a rather less game that they never fix it. They install a new program to show you something that you could not fix. Instead of going back a little bit and saying, okay,
My new system, I haven't come across a problem yet. I'm not going to work that.
Yes, you're a dumbass. Please get control of Pooch. And I'm down.
So it's just like, and plus it's like, it's going to be sad that they're going to be discontinuing games. So it's kind of sad that they're discontinuing manufacturing. And also, they're going to start new games system. I mean, granted, it's not the system I have at this point. It's like next gen, but other than that, it's just
Destroy the enemy's titans.
Alright, now, as far as the current... Oh, right, PS3.
PS3 introduced one of my sweetheart game service that I honestly, it's gone. It's honestly one of my favorites. It's my favorite series of all time. And that would be the BioShock series. I remember the day it was introduced, and so what it was that my brother was one of the playing. My brother was the when we brought him home. I was just there watching because he had the each other's games as well. He kept using his
don't think any amount of shield is gonna help you against that, mate.
That's right.
Oh, at least it didn't kill you. Alright, now, as far as the PS3 is concerned, I'm not gonna lie, I was introduced to some really great games on there. I was reintroduced to the Devil May Cry series. I was reintroduced to the Fallout series, which I prefer Fallout on Sony platform than Microsoft because the graphics just ultimately look better and the gameplay and controls are a lot smoother. As far as additional games, that's also where I played Metal Gear Rising. I've gotten introduced to multiple games on the PS3, and I can honestly say I would take the PS3 over the 360 if they went head to head. I'm not gonna lie, because just like with the current model PS4, the PS3 had the option of letting you use Wi-Fi to connect to your internet in order to establish online compatibility, whereas the Xbox 360, it didn't.
Well, when the first system came out, it really didn't, because you had to hook up the internet cable, which I will give it to Sony and the PS3 that they added that mechanic in. That was pretty good. Then with 360 finally decided, you know what, we need to add this mechanic kind of shit. But as far as the PS3, I never had a PS3 because I was happy with the 360 because, well, most of the games
You're losing close. It's leaving our payday. Focus and doing this around.
Sony is going to get on the PS3, like the Amazon Vegas is awesome.
Mm.
I mean, PS3 is a longer series than Xbox has.
It has, but I just feel like it's just,
Like one of the most famous ones. Yeah, I hope they can change it to PS4. Which is the metal franchise.
That's enough. I'm aborting this mission. Have profit of this disaster.
You either had to survive or you were just dead. That's it. There was no in between.
Okay, so now that we've gone through a little nostalgia trip of the most recent series, not who is your most favorite game, but who is your most favorite game character? Like, if you could have like a statue of this thing in your household, 8 feet tall, you would.
Oh my god.
Well, we already know your choice is gonna be Big Daddy. Man, I gotta think on it as well. This is gonna be difficult. Alright, well, seeing as Big Daddy is out of bounds for you, because we already know you would pick him in a heartbeat, who would you pick?
So I can't pick Big Daddy.
You cannot pick Big Daddy.
I'm gonna take him out.
Alright, now, as far as
I have a character out of bounds.
because
Okay, why do you think I picked Big Daddy? Let's hear how well you know me, Girl, since you're the psychologist of the
We
group now.
both know.
How would you go to hell, either?
That's not
that was not necessary. Okay, for anybody that's wondering what the fourth voice, who the fourth voice belongs to, that is my roommate's friend Vincent. He said he had the nerve to say Xbox is better than PlayStation. Those are fighting words if I've ever heard them.
I love the PS2. Actually,
If it's simple, but it works,
actually, to me,
then
both
it's worth it.
controls I can handle well because it's actually they're the same bunch, just different control style. And as far as I'm concerned, it's like sometimes when I go over people's house and they offer me to play a game, I only ask what the controls because you never know if somebody's gonna change the button layout. But other than that, I have no problem with switching from either console.
But the thing about the PlayStation controller is like when you're turning, it turns the camera with you. With the Xbox
PS3 too.
Well,
Well, I guess you're right, because they do have the topicals, I forgot.
Yeah.
well, at any rate, I would. One iconic video game character, I would probably have to say Dante from Devil May Cry. Not the new one, Devil May Cry's 1 through 4. And my reason being is not only is Ruben Langdon a phenomenal voice actor, the fact that he did the motion capture for Dante in every single video game is a feat in and of itself, because not very many people would do that. I can understand he'd probably do it for 1 or 2 games, but no, he did it for every single video game that his version of Dante was portrayed in. So it would have to be a statue of Dante, and I'm gonna go ahead and go Devil May Cry 3's Dante, my favorite one.
Alright, Ross, yours?
Oh man, this is a tough one. So I can only pick one. I can't have two.
You can only pick one.
Shite. Oh man, this is definitely tough. I'm gonna have to pick between my nostalgia days or my next gen days. Okay.
Destroy the enemy
Now,
Titan.
keep in mind, this was somewhat a hard decision to make. I would have to pick because the first game I was with PlayStation 1, Grand Theft Auto. Hey, let's keep in mind, Master Chief was Grand Theft Auto. And keep in mind, Master Chief was a close second. But yeah, that's right.
Alright, so what about you, Merc?
Against popular belief, my least favorite Bioshock game has to be the most recent one. Because it took away so much great content. It's kind of one of the most complex games, not like gameplay wise, but just story wise. But Subject Delta was kind of just, of all the characters that you have to pick from the trilogy, he was the best one. First, he beat them both in the second. And 2, he's basically the only liquid that can to get out of his
Destroy the enemy Titan.
And really, you have a free will. I think that's right.
Alright, now, your most hated video game character.
Can I use Tone?
Tone is the Titan, not a character. Most hated video game character for me is gonna be Shao Kahn. I'm not gonna lie. Literally, as the meme that was posted on Facebook, I don't know how many months or how many years ago stated, oh, proud of that 15-hit combo you just made. Charge, charge, hammer, I win. Fucking. So many hours, so many rage fits, so many controllers almost thrown through windows into the TV, you name it. I'm lucky I only had the one. not 2 hits, 1. Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts was the emphasis of 1 shot.
I did something stupid in the first game. I just cared about fighting. I didn't actually go to the map. I just listened to blues. Okay, maybe if I change some things up, I might beat them. Oh, what's this item? Defense. Future defense. How many of those do I have? 33. Oh. And I used all of my guys who hit it. One and two hits and 2 take to kill me.
Okay, smart playing. Congrats.
My pride was worth it. Like, oh god, just the hate of that character. Awesome boss.
At that moment, you just like the moment you realize you won, nothing is achieved. You pause the game, set down the controller, and you just sit.
Beat Wolf.
Destroy the enemy's guidance.
You have to put down the controller and you got to think about what you just did. Was it really worth it? All right, Russ. What about you?
I do have one. And I'm like, okay, first of all, usually with the first, maybe second. First of all, as much as I love that game, the camera fighting clutch, especially
Hitting the cover advised.
I had unfathomable hate for that son of a bitch. And when I finally beat him, it was just such a... It felt like a weight to find me. I thought I touched it. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Okay, most annoying video game character you've ever seen or had to face. Okay. Okay. Rules of this one are as follows. They have to have annoyed the shit out of you, either the entirety that you've seen them or the entirety that you've had to fight them, but you were still able to overcome them. Or you could have just seen gameplay of them and ultimately just said, no, I'm not touching this game for that specific reason. Do I have to go first on this one? Okay. Okay, I'm basically just going to tell you right now, this character is the emphasis of ear rape incarnate because he only says one thing throughout the course of his life. Flame Hyanard from Mega Man X6. You want to talk about the most annoying boss that does not shut up, and you literally have to mute the TV in order to make it through with your sanity intact. I couldn't go 30 seconds, no, scratch that, 15 seconds watching a goddamn boss playthrough video where the person fought him. I literally just 5, 7, nope, can't do it, get that thing away from me. No, I am not doing that. your goddamn choice, dude. The anticipation of the audience is killing me.
I know. It's all good. For the first Spider-Man.
Eject immediately.
Yeah, for the first Spider-Man game, PS2. Fighting Vulture was a complete pain. Well, okay. It's mainly because you always have to keep a block on him, and at times it's just like sometimes it was just like you had to ground him first before you could actually get a hit on him, and even then, I got to do this all over again.
All right, hold that thought, guys. Hold on. We'll get to yours in a sec. Just give me a minute. Okay, now Merc. You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, because the person was controlled by the AI. It was a character controlled by a person I played against once.
Most.
Leave it at that.
He left. He left. it's bad enough that the AI pisses you off if it's another player using a character. Pride is damaged. It's not gonna be fixed.
Titan detected. Attempting situation control.
Well, at any rate. Okay. Most memorable character. And they can be good or evil, or they can be an anti-hero. But they have. Fair enough. Most hated game moment. Dude, the water temple from Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like, I admit I beat it, but for the love of fucking God, don't make me go through it again. Okay, now, Russ. Merc actually thought of a really good category, and your category was? Dude, I'm telling you right now, mine is going back to the iconic, the legendary, and the ever so piss you off because fuck you for no apparent reason, Water Temple. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like, you want to talk about ripping your hair out as a child in your first controller throw? That did it.
See, you say so. So was a Force Unleashed, which I admit that was a bit. You say Zelda, but I'm gonna step it up a notch and give it to the game where you either have to be good or it just fucked you over. And that's the ever classic and the game that rivaled Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm talking way back in the Genesis days, because I have played that game, and
It smells like ass.
as I have played the first Sonic the Hedgehog game, because I have a game that where you can play all the old Sonic games, and holy shit, that game, it's my most hated movie. I would get to like, it was this area called the Sky Zone. I remember getting that far. So finally, I'm actually doing good at this game. And then for some other reason, I'm just about. It's like, okay, it's the second act of the stage, and I've died so many times. I finally get close. I actually get to the boss, and I was like, okay, I'm about to beat him. And I'm about to lay the final blow. Before I could, he hits me. I lose all my rings. Before I had a chance to grab them, they disappear. So I was like, okay, I gotta stay on the defensive. As soon as I see my opening, nope, kills me. It's my last fucking life. You want to talk about a rage moment?
Now, a category that I brought up was most memorable game character. They can be good, they can be evil, they can be the anti-hero, but they have to have impacted the game in a major way.
Oh, I know my definite one. You two go ahead, I'm gonna say one for last.
What's yours, Vincent?
Blood Rain.
Who?
You guys don't remember Blood Rain?
You mean Blood Rain?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I never really got into that. And again, I was never into the things back. I had to do with vampires.
At any rate, Russ.
Mine?
Shit, it's gonna be like that.
Well, okay, you have one?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Destroy the enemy titans.
Muting. Muted the other player. Reasons. Okay.
Okay, so.
Because why not?
Dude, seriously, what was he doing?
Don't worry about it. Anyway,
What was he doing?
character.
Yeah, most memorable character.
Snap in my face, don't knock your other teeth out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we lost us. This character is a memorable character. I'm gonna have to say.
If you need to take a moment, feel free.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one.
Okay. Memorable game character, at least and from my perspective. It is a tough one because you grow attached to so many. I'm gonna sound like a fanboy, but Zack from Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Because think about it, he not only was he Angeal's legacy because Angeal passed the Buster Sword on to him, Zack was strong enough to contend with the likes of some of the greatest Final Fantasy characters ever known. He could possibly even go toe-to-toe with Sephiroth. And he actually did go toe-to-toe with Sephiroth. He had first-class soldier training, and he had, you know, a multitude of other abilities, and his use of magic was very well-balanced as well as very diverse. And the fact that he let Cloud be his living legacy was even more impressive. Now, a lot of people can say, well, you know, Cloud's more memorable and iconic than Zack, blah, blah, blah. Okay, without Zack, Cloud wouldn't be who he is. That's a given. Granted, in Crisis Core, Cloud did take the Buster Sword and almost Sephiroth in 2. First time he's almost died. But when it comes down to it, Zack is literally just memorable for not only the principles he stands by and what he fights for, but the fact that he stuck to it all the way to the end. Not to mention, he doesn't need a Buster Sword. He can poke you with an umbrella. Alright, well, what is this thinking? Merc? You forgot? Oh god.
Destroy the enemy Titans.
What's wrong? Alright, Merc, now what about you?
Okay. I would have to say, just due to the massive amount of, the massive plot twist he gave, and just the most important character in the game series, I would have to say it would be Atlas from Naruto.
Atlas.
Atlas. Because the twist, I don't want to ruin it in case anyone's playing the game, but just the twist, and those who have played it, you know, just the would you kind of is just
Tearing us apart. We haven't done it yet. Destroy the enemy Titans.
Alright. Now, we've covered a pretty good multitude of subjects as well as various topics. What else do you think we should touch up on? True. Hold on, everybody.
Reactor exposed. Protective casing compromised.
So, still last night standing. What happened, Merc? What happened? How many? If it ain't Tone, it's Legion. If it ain't Legion, it's like... How much of a noob tactic is it for the entire team to pick one Titan class?
the characters in the victory, you really can't talk that much shit about it.
You guys got 2 Legions, an Ion, a North Star, and a Ronin. Maybe you should go Scorch.
Destroy the enemy Titans.
Well, I'm going with Ronin. Speed, speed, and more speed. The only downside to Ronin is definitely going to have to be his sword block. He has no defensive capability whatsoever except for phase dash. Wow, can the arc wave reach that high?
Checking back to the
pretty sure you were dead the moment the barrel was shoved into the cockpit. No, I just saw you utilize the arc wave and try to knock him out of the air. Can it actually reach that high? You think it'd be broken if it could? Fair enough. You're gonna be that guy.
Whenever everyone uses it, but honestly, whenever you're going against people who are just using nothing but legions, use a good character to counter legions.
Fair enough.
Destroy the enemy Titan.
Well, there's 3 of them. These guys really don't give a fuck. Damn, that had to hurt. It's official. That thing will rip through a particle wall like nobody's business. You got nuclear ejection. Yes. You tried. I give you an A for effort.
Alright, so we're hitting the 150 marker.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll go and go here. Alright guys, thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. We will see you all next time. I got it. You just take care of Pooch.
That was fun.